Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to the Austrian Legacy Cup. My name is Daniel, and I'm joined today with my co-host of the In Response podcast, Peter Blank. How is it going, Peter? Yeah. Awesome. We had three events already. Today we are starting off the fourth event of the cup. So our group D is playing, um, which consists of Philipp Klein, which is also one of our co-hosts, Michael Mitter, Michael Höller. So we have to be careful about the Michaels today. Also, we had this issue in the past, I think, and also Manuel Hochecker. Oh, okay. It seems Peter is muted somehow. We'll have maybe to fix this for you guys. That's bad. However, in the meantime, we can maybe have a look at the standings, and afterwards, I will make sure to fix that we all can hear Peter also alongside. Um, we had, as I said, we had three stages already. Peter will just write in the chat. We had three stages: Group A, B, and C, and Group D is playing as our last group for the first leg today. Actually, the matches were kind of evenly distributed. So we have 6 points. Nobody actually had 9 points yet. Maybe this will change today. But yeah, we'll have a look at this as the events will go on. Peter, can we hear you already? Doesn't look like it. Before we start on matches, stay tuned, please. We'll just make a short break. You can have a look at the deck lists, and we'll be back hopefully with the audio fixed.
Ja, ja, ja.
Okay. All right.
Probieren wir gleich mit mir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back. I think the audio issues should be hopefully fixed now.
Yeah.
Peter, I think we can hear you. Maybe chat can confirm that.
Hopefully, I will just talk for 10 seconds now, and if nothing happens, I think they will write it down,
Yeah.
but I will just continue talking. So we have here three groups that already played. We have nobody with 9 points, actually, which is, quite interesting. Maybe we can,
Maybe this time we will see a change of that.
yeah, maybe we have a a cool story today with 3 consecutive wins on stream or something like that. But yeah, will be definitely some interesting matches today. It's
Yep.
quite a stacked group. That was what I was talking about before with Philip Klein, the currently Austrian legacy master, as
Mm-hmm.
we would call it,
Yep.
and Manuel Hochegger, who was actually in the top 8 of MCAM Prague back in 2017, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He was back then, I think, on Delver too, but on Grixis.
No, I think it was Backdelver actually at this
Okay,
time.
back Delver.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he's on Rack Delver today.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Uh, yeah. And
Um, so you mentioned Manuel on Rock Delver. We also have a second Delver player today, I think so.
no, we have
Oh,
is Höller Michael is on
Devon, Texas,
Devon,
right?
Texas,
Yeah.
and Mitte Michael is on
Goblins.
Goblins.
Yes. Okay, before we start, quickly let's have a look at our tournament plan. Here are all again the 16 players competing in this tournament listed. We have a group stage right now. We have 2 legs, the first leg and the second leg. So each player gets to play against the other team members twice. And currently we are on the first leg for the group D, as we mentioned. After the group phase, we have the playoffs of heading into the finals. As you can see in the graphics, the quarterfinals heading into the semifinals. And from the semifinals on, this is kind of special, I would say. We have best of 5 matches. And what we also do is we make sure that we have a big final and a small final as well.
Yeah, definitely. We want as many Magic played on stream as possible, and so we wanted the best of 5s to showcase the decks a little bit more.
Yep.
And yeah, prizes are for top 4, so it makes sense that the semifinals will be played in best of 5s and best of 5s, so that we can eliminate variants as much as possible.
Okay. I think with that we can head over to our players and start the first round. What do you say, Peter?
Yeah, I would be interested in that. So I will just tell the boys, and yeah, we start soon.
Yeah.
Wir waren jetzt sozusagen soweit mit der Intro.
Okay. As we said, Michael Mitter is playing Goblins and Manuel is playing Rakdelva.
Okay, seems like a 12 on the side of Manuel. So is an easy win in the die roll, as we would say.
Yeah.
And yeah, will be an interesting matchup. What are, in your opinion, the key cards in this matchup for each player?
Good question. I think, yeah, Rakdelva, I think needs to make sure that it's executing a strong mana denial plan of some way. If goblins can resolve an early Aether Vial, it should get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah, it's a kind of hard matchup because it's
Yeah.
really swinging into the sides of goblins, I would say.
Yeah, the longer the game goes, the worse it is for Delver, I would say.
Yeah, the problem is just with, I mean, Cavern is wastelandable, but yeah, it's definitely a problem. You need a remove spell or a blocker for the turn 1 Lackey. I
Yeah.
mean, if you are on the play, and we see it here, we have the Delver here on the play,
This is strong, yeah.
but this is really big for Manuel, which could be, if he has the days for the Aether Vial, he is very good to go.
Yes.
But yeah, it's if Michael goes Cavern of Souls, Goblin Lackey, he's definitely not out of here. And yeah, Manuel just needs the bolt or the blocker in the Dreaded Arcanist.
Maybe he has a daze actually. This would be huge. Or Force of
Yeah.
Negation is also good. I mean, he has to pitch an Oko, which is a valuable card in the matchup for sure also.
Definitely.
But you for sure want to counter the Aether Vial on turn 1 if you get the chance to do so.
Yeah, definitely. And with the mountain here, he is also safe from Wasteland, which
Yeah.
is a big thing too. And yeah, both players are at 19.
The only thing that doesn't get into Manuel's favor is not flipping the Delver.
Yeah, but he's
Unfortunately.
known for that.
He's known for that, yeah. For everybody who doesn't know him, he's one of the guys who will never flip his Delvers, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's kind of meme in in our community, as we would call it nowadays.
Yeah. Absolutely. But he's very easy about it, and he also has a laugh about it, which is great.
Yeah, it's really, really fine.
So turn to Tamogrev coming down from Manuel. He is increasing the pressure already. I think this is just except the Delver not flipping, really, really good start for him.
Yeah, I mean, he got the counter spell for the Aether Vial. He got the turn 1 Delver. He got the big threat on turn 2.
Yeah.
The only thing missing here is I'm not sure if Dreaded Arcanist would be better than Tamogrev here. Because the stats of Goif are really, really important here.
But you have to say it is already a 3/4, and the Arcanist doesn't have anything to cast as of now, of course, but and this could also change very quickly. So it's kind of tough. But I would say that both cards are for sure great cards to have on turn 2 here.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, the position currently is, I would say, really, really favorable for Manuel here. I think this is a Skirk Prospector?
Yes, exactly. That's one Prospector.
That's the Lanoel for Goblins. And we got the flip here.
We have the flip
of Ponder. And yeah, this is the point where we would heavily favor now Manuel.
I think the only thing missing right now is maybe a Wasteland on the Badlands. And not even sure you need a removal spell for that Prospector. Of course, it is a strong card that can quickly get out of hand. So you might want to kill it if you have a Bolt in your hand.
Yeah, the problem with Prospector is just it doesn't do much besides ramping into the big 4 or 6 drops. And
but the thing is, Goblins needs to cheat the mana in order to survive the tempo game plan of Delver, and Skirk Prospector certainly can help you in order to achieve this. So cards like Aether Vial Prospector can ramp you into these bigger threats, as you said, and that's exactly what Goblins needs to do.
Yeah, we have the Delver draw here.
We have the Delver draw of Wasteland also, yeah.
Wasteland into Dreaded Arcanist. I think if and the last card in hand is the Ponder. Yeah. So there is really I think strong. 2% chance for Michael to coming back, and this would
Okay. He can Wasteland or he can cast a threat.
I mean, he can cast a 2-drop to jump.
Creator Maker. It can kill the Delver.
It can kill the Arcanist.
It can kill the Arcanist. You have to block it and then deal 2 damage.
And then sack the Prospector. The problem is, I think the only card that gets him back into the game would be Muxus into Sling Gang or something like that.
Yeah, but I don't think that he is close from resolving Muxus mana-wise.
Yeah, I mean, he can hardcast a Sling Gang next turn, which would be something he could do. A Sling Gang could get him back to a life total, which could favor him. But I think this is...
I don't think he can, because he has no black mana, right?
Yeah, but Yeah, he needs for sure a Badlands, but
Yeah.
I think this is one of the only outs he still has. Okay. Was this a shuffle on the ponder?
I didn't catch it. No, I don't think so.
It couldn't be a shuffle because a shuffle we have
The Corona cut.
the Corona cut, and I think there was no time for it. So again, no shuffle for Manuel, drawing a card off of the ponder, and yeah. The question here is: do you play for your outs here, or do you jump block?
I think
Here,
not right now. I'm not sure.
I hope they don't do the misplay in don't resizing the die for Tamagoyf, because Tamagoyf is currently a 3/4 and not a 4/4, because the ponder is now exiled with from the Dreaded Arcanist.
This is true, yeah.
But I think the
So this
decision doesn't revolve around
7.
that, because the 1 damage would be from Arcanist. Okay, seems more like a jump and a block on the Arcanist, yeah.
Jump on the Goyf?
I
With
mean,
the Prospector, maybe?
Yeah, maybe he sacks even a Prospector, and
He
no,
could,
you can't. Are you able to? How does this with the phases work? I'm currently not sure.
which
Can
phases?
you?
You can, for example, you can block with the Skirk Prospector the Tamoglyph, and
Yeah.
with the Creator Maker the Arcanist, and
Yeah.
after blocks you can sacrifice the Prospector and also the Creator Maker to kill the Delver, for example. Then you would take no
Okay.
damage. Or you would take 1 damage from the Arcanist because it has trample.
Okay. So he took.
But I'm not sure what he chose to do here. It seems he's thinking about it.
Yeah, seems like the situation you described. Yeah, yeah. Goif is a 3. Thank you, Jonas.
But
okay,
he should take 1 damage from the trample.
Yeah.
Nonetheless. So
and
he should be at 12.
I'm not sure why he's now at 5. I think I just tune in to say them the resizing.
Yeah. You should tell them that the trample damage is also. Yeah. It seems that if I catch it correctly, Manuel has another Delver going on.
And I'll back.
Of course. So you just earned yourself the judge a job for today. I hope this is clear for you, Peter.
Yeah, I've learned from the best. From Hypsois 99. No, thanks, Jonas. It's really, really good that we have someone, even in the chat, that looks out for some mistakes of our players. I mean, we try. It's our best.
Normally, it is a little bit difficult for online matches to interfere, but we can more or less easily do so in this situation or setup we have going on, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, definitely.
We want that everything is fair and square.
For sure. Yeah, we don't want big mistakes to change something of the outcome.
And is this a pile driver for Michael?
It's a pile driver. Is this the one with 1/2 protection from blue, and when it attacks it gets +2/+0 for every attacking or every goblin you control?
I think every attacking.
Okay.
The Delver flipped off of Force of Negation.
Yeah.
And
another ponder.
Which is more value for the Arcanist.
But he wants to keep the pond in the graveyard because the Goif gets bigger.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's with Michael on 12, just a matter of time. I think the question is, do you attack with the Arcanist? Yeah, you do.
You do.
If you want to find something with Ponder, yeah.
If you want to cast a Ponder, for sure. And in the other case, taking it without, I still think you should do it. You are clearly the aggressor, and maybe Michael is thinking about jumping the Tamogov. And in that case, it is just 1 extra damage, and I don't think you want to hold it back to block.
Yeah, I think it's the attack is pretty free, because if he doesn't block, either he jump blocks the Goef or he blocks the Arcanist.
It seems he blocks the Arcanist, yeah.
Yeah. So going in for 7 down to 5. And
another
the problem
Delver.
is
okay.
Yeah, the problem is he needs at least 2 mana, or I would say 4 mana for the Maxus to come back.
Yeah, I think if the Delver flips, there's not really an out.
Yeah, it's the Delver is a big problem for Goblins, because it's just a threat in the air that they can't handle.
Yeah,
it's just a threat they can raise, and I think Sling Commander, something like that.
I think it's
Lieutenant, not Commander. Different rank.
I mean, they have ways to kill the Delver, of course. They have the Incinerator, which they can cycle. They have Munitions Expert.
Yeah, Munitions Expert is big too, and Creator Maker. Yeah,
they have some outs. Do they have for killing a Delver as the flying threat? But for sure.
Yeah, I completely underrated the printing of these 2 cards in the last year and a half, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, previously it was hard. They needed the Pyroblast or the boats for the Delver. And nowadays they have a few outs now.
Yeah.
Which is big, because 1 creature would be really, really big and swingy, and I'm not a fan of that, actually.
This is game. You're not a fan of what exactly?
1 card of cards that swing a matchup in itself really, really big. I mean, Goblin abuses that too, actually, because against Miracles or something like that, Goblin Lackey is just the swords check game in match 1, game 1, or in actually, I mean, it's every time the swords check. That the only thing you can do about it is having a Terminus, but the good Goblins opponent will just keep something in the hand after the Ringleader or something like that, and you, even with Terminus, you don't come back, because they gather so much cards in hand that they can resize the battlefield the turn after you cleared the board, and then you have to search for another Terminus, which is actually nowadays a little bit easier, because you can just fetch for Terminus and then it's fine. But it's really, really hard to combat against.
Okay. Let's have a look at the deck lists, and maybe we can discuss some sideboarding options. For Michael and for the Goblin side, he has a lot of interesting things he for sure wants to bring in. I'm definitely looking at the Lightning Bolt, the Blasts, and Pyrokinesis as well. I think this is basically a no-brainer for this kind of matchup. I'm not sure about the Chieftain, or the Trashmaster shouldn't get in, because it's just too expensive, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does too little.
Yeah,
the 2 Lords do too little. The Leyland is dead.
It's too iffy.
It's too iffy. Yeah. It does nothing. A Rest in Peace would be a different thing, but the Leyland does nothing. Mindbreak Trap does nothing. It's not a combo deck. And what are the cards you think that will go out?
Good idea.
Is Muxus too expensive?
That's I think
clear cuts could be Maxus and Skirk Prospector.
Maxus and Skirk. I don't think that you want to cut the Skirk Prospector. For the reasons I mentioned, it is a lot about mana in the early game,
Yeah.
And Goblins needs to make sure that it survives the early game. Because the middle to late game will certainly, maybe not the middle game, but the late game would certainly be in Goblin's favor. And
Yeah.
so its main goal should be to survive the first strikes from Delver. So it means it needs to be able to not die to Wastelands, to the Dazes, and for that it needs he needs to make sure that he has enough mana.
Yeah.
So Maxus could be maybe we can shave 1 or even 2 copies. I'm not sure because it's really expensive, but it's a very swingy card. Also.
Yeah, definitely.
But I just think it doesn't need it for this kind of matchup.
Yeah. Maybe Mons could be
could also be
something because you don't have a lot of things that die actually. So I don't think the pinging of creatures isn't that impactful.
Yeah.
Or pinging the opponent. If you are in the situation that you have to jump block a Tarmogoyf each turn, I think you are usually losing the game. So you want to make plays that can win you the game. And with that, I think this could be something. Yeah. And let's have a short look on the side of Manuel. I think you want the Abrade.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Ancient Grudge could be something you are boarding. I think this is fine. And definitely the 2 Blazing Volleys, I would say.
The Blazing Volleys, having access to 2 copies is really, really strong in this matchup, for sure.
Yeah, the big part is actually not the first Blazing Volley, but Blazing Volley attack with Dreaded Arcanist and another Blazing Volley, which should clear the board in most cases.
What do you think about Clothis or Library?
I think they may be too slow, actually.
The thing is, he has actually a lot of cards to cut. I think the Spell Pierce is a bad. Force of Negation is also kind of bad.
I'm not sure about Force of Negation because, Force of Negation could be boarded, yeah. It's only... There are only 4 cards.
Yeah, and of course the blasts and the pyrokinesis which he brings in, but it's mostly just creatures. I'm also not sure you want all 4 Force of Wills, but
this is kind of tricky. I've talked to a lot of people about Force of Will stasis against Wasteland decks. And against Wasteland Aethervial decks, just as Stefan Texas or Goblins. I mean, against Stefan Texas, it's a little bit more true because they have a lot more spells actually in the form of Swords of Plowshares and maybe 1 or 2 Consul's Judgments. And if they hardcast the equipment, so there are more forces, definitely okay. But yeah, as a told already, that the whole counterspell plan falls apart if your opponent opens with a Cavern of Souls, which is actually a 4-off on the side of Goblins.
Yeah.
And so the counter suite is definitely to discuss.
Yeah.
The Spell Piercers are no-brainer to board out because you are on the draw and Aethervial comes down on turn 1.
I also think that you could shave 1 copy maybe of Tarmogoyf on the draw. Because it gets jump blocked so easily if Goblins gets to deploy or generate a bunch of 1/1 tokens. And I think Goyf on the draw can be a little bit not impactful enough sometimes.
Yeah, could be. But I think the Dazes are a little bit worse, actually.
I'm in the camp of never cutting Dazes in a Delver deck. So
yeah, the problem is, in this case, Dazes do mostly the stuff that Spell Pierce would do. But you can't, as you can with Spell Pierce, you can't do it on turn 1. And this game looks, after 2 turns, so much different because with an active Aethervial and a Cavern of Souls on the board, it's just a different game.
If Manuel doesn't have a removal spell for the vial, he can also start porting manual as we see it him doing right now, I think. Yeah. It
Maybe
just
he has
can
the. Okay.
no, okay. But
Okay.
the Delver flips, which is also strong. He
Yeah.
needs to be careful of an end step Lecky being wild in. But for sure you just want to attack.
Yeah. You have to attack. You
Okay.
as we saw in game one, you as the Delver pilot in this matchup, you are the aggressor.
Yeah.
You have to try to win the game. And yeah, let's see if we see a Ponder here or another Delver, which would be
This
quite.
kind of indicates for me that he doesn't have a bolt in his hand. Otherwise, I don't think you would ponder here in this spot.
Yeah, the Ponder here is quite a tell. You
Yeah.
you really do not want to do this against Goblins. You don't want your opponent to have the ability to turn one Lecky maxes you, and yeah.
Even
There
it's
is
just a matron or a prospector, a creator maker, a ringleader also,
yeah, there are a lot of cards.
or the sling gang lieutenant, of course, also. No Lecky.
That's
This would
quite big.
this would be a really strong window for him.
Yeah, definitely.
This might even be a game if he has the correct card to bring in.
Yeah, the Lecky is just a card that can end a game on turn 2.
Yeah.
If I mean previously it was the how is the ringleader that will generate such a big advantage that you literally can't lose the game. But yeah, nowadays it would be definitely Maxus. And
yeah,
I mean we discussed about boarding out Maxus, but yeah, maybe I'm wrong about it. And just because the possibility of Lecky into Maxus is just so big that you really, really want it. I mean, I think you have to keep in at least one because you have in Goblin Matron the toolbox to find him.
Yeah.
And maybe he does this already currently with the Matron. So, yeah.
A matron finding another matron. Interesting.
That seems weird. I mean, maybe he has a munitions expert, which could be a cool card here, which could answer the Delver.
Yeah.
This would be something that was huge. But I think you would do this in your own turn because you don't want your opponent to have the possibility to bolt one of your goblins.
In response to the wild activation, yeah.
Yeah.
A Tamogurf?
Or to the trigger activation.
Oh, also, of course, also, yeah.
Because if you board wipe in response to a munitions expert, it does nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, it would kill an illusion. Because it was targeted. Illusions were so big in my play group as I started out with Magic. Because you don't play removal spells, and then illusions are
really strong, yeah.
Quite hard to handle because they're all above the curve. And yeah. 3 1 mana 2/2s are quite big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now he is at 4 mana, a violet 3, which is fine.
Maybe violating into matron, okay, yeah. And possibly getting a sling gang if he wants to go for it. Manual is tapped out, so only. No,
yeah, he's the Cavern of Souls.
So the Cavern, so the sling gang should actually be really strong and pretty safe to cast here.
I mean, I don't think you want the ringleader. I think Slinging is the only card you really want to.
But ringleader is also fine. Is this the card he... Okay.
Okay, munitions expert.
I'm not sure. Okay, he can kill the Golf. I think the Slinging would be better in my opinion.
Yeah, as a whole plan, it would be better maybe.
Because he also already has the creator maker,
Yeah,
which is I think out of the picture right now.
yeah, it's just below the matron.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean with the creator maker, you have the out to the Delva on the board,
I think that
which leaves Manuel with just 4
and
cards in
and with
hand.
the sling gang, the Goif just looks ridiculous in my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah, the only thing it can is blocking the 1/1s that will then get eaten by the slinging.
yeah,
Well, I played such a beautiful game against Michael uh, just before the lockdown,
mm-hmm.
before the second one, I think. And yeah, I was playing 4-color painter, and I terminused him twice in one turn. No, not. I sorted 2 slingings of him in one turn, each with the trigger on the stack, which led to me living on 1 HP, on 1 life,
Mm-hmm.
and then winning with the painter combo on the next turn.
That's nice, yeah. That's what I like about these control decks with combo finishes.
Yeah, with a yeah, I would say normal control deck or miracle deck, there was no way of winning the game. Um,
Who the manuals for the manual
was
climbing comp?
the creator maker just bolted?
Yeah.
Did he port it? Yeah,
He ported the volcanic, I think, and in response, Manuel bolted the creator
bolted
maker.
it.
So he had no
Okay.
mana to sack it in response. Yeah.
I think personally this is not correct
To port or to bolt?
to port.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think there is you don't want your opponent to have possibilities. I mean, the 2 mana doesn't do much. The biggest thing he can do is Oko, but yeah, good luck trying to Oko something of myself of him. I mean, if he Okos the Etherval, yeah, sure, I have 4 mana.
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And he even had a lethal board for the Oko
Yeah.
itself. So
Yeah,
I
like we
think
said, he has mana, he has the cavern. He needs to make sure to flood the board with goblins, in my opinion, right now.
yeah,
And Sling Gang then can quickly sneak in a win out of nowhere. He doesn't want to deny mana anymore. I think the stage is over in the game right now. He needs
yeah.
to cast his biggest advantage, his biggest threats, and
Yeah. It would be something different if he had, I would say, 2 Risharden pots. Then I
yeah,
would maybe talk about it.
yeah.
But yeah, with just 1, it just doesn't make any sense. Okay. What does it do for 1 mana? Another Etherval. Yeah.
Okay. And I think this was a war chief or the
Pashtek Mams
yeah.
is this. I think this
Yeah.
is the one I thought he would cut. Okay. Yeah, it's the Pashlik Mans, which says whenever it or another goblin you control dies, it deals 1 damage to any target, which just mean jump blocking is really, really easy now.
Yeah.
You can just double block the mandrills or double block the mandrills and kill the Delva, or triple block the mandrills, kill the mandrills and the Delva, which is quite huge too. So he has now actually quite a filled board, and it's
The only thing missing is just a little bit of reach in some way.
it's just the little ram that's missing. It's just the wood block that the goblins needs to ram through the door. It's just the one thing that keeps it on the top. It's either one of a ringleader or a sling gang or a war chief actually would be good too in a spot, or the muxus. I think they need just one piece that lets them be in the game if they
Yeah.
have to crash everything into the creatures of Manuel,
Hmm.
or they need that thing that pumps their team.
But the moon can also generate more
Quite a few,
goblins. Yeah.
yeah, or some damage, which is huge too, because if you draw the sling gang, it does now 2 damage,
Yeah.
and I think sling gang actually would be lethal if it resolves.
Yeah. For sure, it has to be.
Because it does 2, 4, 6 creatures. It's 12 damage
Yeah.
plus the months. It's 14 plus itself. So it's exactly 15 damage
Mm-hmm.
if it resolves.
Yeah. Or you
So
can use the ether vial.
yeah, I mean, you need the mana or the creatures to win, but because you need um it not dying to a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Okay, Pashlik Mams is now bolted, so the plan is going away.
Art is a bolt. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar with these versions.
I think this is the Secret Lair Bolt
Mm,
Edition,
yeah.
which was quite a discussion, I
Hmm.
think, because there was the controversy about one of the artists.
And actually, this bolt is very huge because right now Michael doesn't have a way to kill the Delver, which still flies over the goblins
Yeah,
right now.
and is it is actually a 2-turn clock.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-turn clock. Yeah,
Feature.
I mean, could be a 2-turn with a bolt,
Blazing Volley. This is also really good.
and this should be game now.
Does it?
Yeah,
Its
because the
damage.
Mandrels cannot attack. You don't jump here because it just negates 1 damage, I think, and it doesn't change the clock.
Yeah.
And you need something to do. Yeah,
Yeah. I think this game might be, or might have been decided by not choosing to search for the Sling Gang
yeah,
earlier. I'm afraid.
yeah. Because Sling Gangs and Moms would have cleared up the board, and yeah, it's just
We have a lot more followers to mention at this point. Thanks
yeah.
for Sephi90, which followed at
Thank
the
you,
beginning of the stream. We have also Take Mini 63
thank you,
and Nathan Lipetz. Thanks for your follow.
thanks, Nathan. Actually, Nathan was streaming today with the Legacy Council,
Mhm.
and they got a 5-0 with his blue-white Omnitel list. So he's just brewing something up and continues his journey in the realms of
Oh, yeah.
MTG Legacy.
Okay, this might actually not be over right now.
Because
He has a matron now. He gets to vial in the Sling Gang.
yeah, the only thing he's missing is, I mean, if he has a Goblin Lackey, I mean, it doesn't change something. He needs to, and I think he's in a spot where he needs to top with something because he has only 1 card missing. Yeah. 1 card missing, 1 card still in his hand. But I think this is the point where just jump block. Or
I think
you don't want to attack here.
I think you have to actually if you want to win.
I mean, yeah, you still have to trample on the mandrels.
Sure.
You get in 7 damage. It doesn't change something if you throw in a token in front of the mandrills. And yeah, he can just sack the 3 1-1s, gets 3 life, gets up to 5,
Yeah.
blocks with the Slinging. Slinging is a 2/2, and this is exactly the 7 damage he needs.
I think Sling
So
Gang.
so
Sling
he's
Gang is a
yes.
1/1. Sling Gang is a 1/1.
So he's dead here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because he
that's true.
gains 4 life either way of blocking or
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah.
yeah. I think there is no cards that he can put out that
I
can.
mean, he has a vial. What if he has a 1-drop?
I mean, the one thing that he could do would be vialing in a Skirk Prospector and then casting a Munitions Expert.
He could also have a blast,
But
it seems
he has only 1 card in his hand. And
this seems like a lackey, or yeah, it's a lackey.
is a lackey. But it's still only 5 blocking power, and with that, it's the game. Because you
4/7.
can't generate enough toughness
Yeah.
to come back. This is unfortunately all due to Mandrill's trample, and with that it's just a inferior power of the Mandrills in this matchup.
Yeah. 6. So yeah, he's still dead.
Yeah.
Oh, is he? He goes down
Sure.
to 3. He can sack the ringleader. Goes down
I
to
mean, if he
4.
sacks the ringleader, he's on 1.
He can survive on 1 life actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but he has
to sack every creature.
Yeah.
And also the Sling Gang itself.
Yeah.
He goes to 1. And Manuel goes to 5.
Is there a draw that could win him the game? Yeah.
He has no cards in hand.
It would revolve around them. I mean, he has now a blocker. Now it seems unlikely. I mean, Matron into Sling Gang?
Matron
Would
into
be so.
Sling Gang would be 4 damage.
Ringleader into Sling Gang Munitions Expert?
Oh, yeah.
He needs a ringleader or something like that.
Okay, that's not enough. A ringleader would be a good start, yeah, into Sling Gang and maybe a munitions expert, or any 2-drop basically that he can also vial in. Yeah, this would then be enough.
This would have been enough, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with that
it seems it is a clean
the win.
2-0 for Ragdale, where Manuel Hochegger taking the win here. Let's Peter, maybe you can check if we
check if table 2 is still playing. Yeah.
Yes, then we can have a look at a backup match, which is Philip Klein on a spicy little combo list. It is called Black Death, and it consists of lots of different combos jammed into one pile of spice, I would say. And we have Michael Höller on Devon, Texas as the opponent. So maybe we can have a look at this match.
Yeah, we can tune in. They are currently in game 3. And Daniel, Philip just resolved.
Yeah.
And Khan the Great Creator, actually.
Okay.
And yeah, he has the Leyland
can you
on board.
Peter, can you oh, sorry. I think I need to make sure that
I think you have to change the source a little bit in Discord. In the OBS to
sure. We'll get
to the new table.
Yes. Let's quickly update.
Okay, because we have now it is. Unfortunately, the tables are a little bit switched up, but I think if we have the combo here shortly, It shouldn't change much.
The standing, do you know the standing?
It's game 3, so it must be 1-1.
1-1, okay.
Yeah,
And trusty DNT.
Is this DNT against the turn 2 Karn? Yeah, seems like it.
Oh yeah.
That's quite the bummer, because next turn Philip will win, because he will. Now he needs to draw a card for it, a land for it, because he cracks the LED for 3 mana, activates Karn, gets a Helm of Obedience, and mills Michael out.
Yeah, this should actually just be a win, yeah.
Yeah, and here we have it. And now we have the activation on the LED shortly. Yeah. Okay, he takes some damage, cracks the LED, shows him Tutor, another black card.
I think it was Grizzlebrand. Was it?
No, he doesn't have a Grizzlebrand in his list.
Okay.
This would be too insane. But the other card would be a Dark Depths, and he gets an Helm of Obedience and taps it for 2 mana, activated on the opponent, and now his opponent will mill the whole deck, because not a single card is
exiled,
entering the graveyard, and with that, it's a win.
It's a win. Yeah, it seems we have yeah, unfortunately we didn't catch much of this backup match, but our players will for sure come back for the second round. Peter,
Yeah.
I think in the meantime we can have a short break.
Definitely. I think we will. Do you want to see Black Death against Ragdelva in the next round? I think the setup would be already made for both of them. And yeah.
So we'll come back in a few minutes.
Yeah. We'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. So wait out shortly and resume with our content.
Yes. Okay, welcome back, everybody. We are just about to start the second round. Peter, what do we have to say about the first round? It was rather quick, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it was a quick 2-0 in the feature match,
Yeah.
and yeah, the the side match was a quick 2-1, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But we still have chances to have some exciting gameplay. And if a game goes on quick, doesn't mean it wasn't exciting. Actually, it's the matchup was definitely the whole game on the edge. But yeah, was a quick 2-0 for our Manuel Hochecker. And this Manuel Hochecker is now playing in a feature matchup
Yeah.
against the winner of the side round, Philip Klein.
He's on Black Death, a rather interesting pile of cards. I think it features about 4 to 6 different combos. I think there's the Helm combo, Tendrils.
You
What
have
else do we have?
Helm, Storm, Marit Large,
Mycos and Lattice.
Painter, and Khan Mukasens Lattice.
Yeah. All jammed into one pile of random spice, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the spicier piles we have here.
Yeah.
I would
And
say besides mine.
despite you're talking about your 4 color painter list?
Band Painter, Band Painter.
Benter.
Banter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The deck that you're playing in the Legacy League.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good to see Bruce or Spice Corner having success, and I think with this statement we can go on and
Switch to a players.
switch to our players. I would just tell them they can start, so we can start the timer now, and yeah, we will continue with this.
We have, as we said, Philip Klein on Black Death. Playing against Delver. I think this can be, if Philip Klein can have a good set of draws where he can quickly assemble any of his combos if the cards align for him. This can be for sure his game and match. But of course, the Delver, oftentimes considered to be the best deck of the format right now, is a tough opponent.
Yeah, Rag is definitely hard to play against, I would say. That the one thing that stands up to Black Death is that it can have some easy wins, I would say, because it's very, very hard for Rag Delver to deal with a resolve Marit Large if you don't have the Delver to block and the Oko to Elk.
Yeah.
And yeah, besides that, you have a lot of counter magic, but you actually most of the time need the counter magic on turn 1.
Yeah.
Because Philip can turn 1 Karn and do something, which is, yeah, I would say very, very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
He can, yeah, and even if it's the leyline in game 1, this is really, really big because leyline on turn 1 basically turns off
The Arcanist.
the Arcanist and the
Mandrills,
Tarmogoyf
and yeah,
and the Mantris. Yeah,
not the
you
Tarmogoyf.
you don't really cast anything if you don't want to go to the combo on the side of Philip. You
Yeah.
can play it really, really slow in this case.
That's true.
And yeah, you have and about the counter magic, you even have the Duresses and the Thoughtseizes. And I think Duress is a really, really good card in this matchup.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things you want to get rid of, and yeah, Duress gives you an option to, and Thoughtseize is even better.
Both players seem to take a mulligan.
Okay.
Oh, Gino joined the party. Hey, what's up, Gino?
Yeah, I would say quite a shame that you didn't catch it at the start. We are very, very disappointed in you. And
yeah.
And no, game 1 was Delver versus Goblins, and it was a 2-0 victory for Manuel Hochecker against Michael Mitter. And yeah,
I have to say I'm quite excited to see the Black Death here in action. I'm always familiar or a little bit tied to combo decks.
Yeah, for me, it's not really tied to combo decks. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm quite tied to combo decks too. Um, yeah, Cardboard Life should be online. On the left
Yes.
side, you should see Black Death. On the right side, you should see Rakdelva.
Yes.
At least for me, it works.
Yep.
And I'm using a different account than the streaming account. And with that, it should be operating for you guys too.
Maybe you need to refresh
Yeah.
the stream.
Could be definitely the reason too. And yeah. The one thing that ties us two together with Black Death and Philip would be
The painter
Black
for
Death
you.
is a combo deck. Black Death plays Painter,
Yeah.
and it's a random shitty pile of cards that would work for Philip. So
Yeah.
I mean, I would not say shitty cards because Khan is really good. Paint is really good. Grindstone is really good. So
Sure.
there is something.
Turn one Ponder. I think the first game where Manuel didn't have a turn one Delver.
Yeah. Turn one Delver for Rack deck is so hard to beat. I mean, we had it on my group B.
Yeah.
Where I faced, I mean, it was 3 Delvers on turn 2, which was a little bit of a bigger problem, I would say. But yeah, the turn 1 Delver ensures such a fast clock, and attacking for 3 on turn 2 does not feel fair.
However, if you don't have a Daze here, and you don't have a Force, but you have Ponder and Delver, and you know you're up against this combo deck, I think it is actually right to dig for a Force, or Daze, or a Force of Negation, instead of casting the Delver.
I must say, I'm not sure, just because it's very unlikely that Philip will do a broken turn 1, actually.
Yeah.
Especially with no Leyline out there.
It is true. We didn't see a Leyline. This is definitely a good point.
This is an Arcanist, yeah.
Turn to Arcanist, okay.
Really key sideboard cards are here now the Fatal Pushers in this matchup on the side of Philip. Which are unfortunately not in his main deck for now. I think so. Because the main deck is just the combo piles. Because you have to focus your deck.
Yeah.
And for game 2, I think we will see the Fatal Pushers. We maybe even see the Hymn to Thorax here. Just because it's a good 2 for 1. And Rakdelva can't really play Veil of Summer, I think.
No, I also don't think that Manuel has one.
Yeah, but one thing that I have noticed was the spicy crop rotation in the sideboard of Manuel, which is actually huge in this matchup because of Marit Lage.
Yeah, this sometimes Rakdelva or actually Rakdelva can play this. Typically, it is a combination of crop rotation, Karakas, and Pachuca Bog as your little package for Graveyard Tate and searching for the Karakas.
Yeah, just the Karakas seems a little bit, just isn't that great, I would say. And yeah.
But I'm a little bit surprised that Manuel chose to play the crop rotation in the sideboard, but no Pachuca Bog to go alongside with it.
Yeah, I think what is the Graveyard Tate he's playing? Just the 2 Surgical, I think.
Just 2 Surgicals, yeah. And to a certain extent the cloth is, but it's a little bit slow.
It does. Too little against Graveyard. As Graveyard Tate, I would say.
Yeah.
Glothis is great against Snoko because it deals with the Uru quite good. But yeah, it's just a problem. And just crop rot for Karakas seems not that great.
Yeah, it's just an extra copy of Karakas, or sometimes a Wasteland if you need it.
I mean, it's an extra copy of Karakas that can flip the Delva. So a little bit on board, I would say, but I would really feel uh,
I
a
love this.
Bojuka Bock here.
Oftentimes, this is just so underplayed. I mean, I know it from the Storm perspective, but just casting a value tutor for doubling your spells, that's a thing that I often do, and I think is often underplayed.
Yeah, it's really good actually. If you have to find something specific,
Mm-hmm.
that you already had a card in your hand, and in this case, doubling the mana for Philip is for next turn is huge,
Mm-hmm.
because now he has practically 6 mana, which is quite a
Yeah.
lot, and yeah, the threat or the board threat of Manuel isn't really big
Yeah.
because he's just 2 Arcanists. 2 Arcanists with no Graveyard is really bad.
Yeah, the second Arcanist is really not what you want to see.
Yeah. If you can go Ponder this turn, it seems a little bit better because you then go up to
Yeah.
7 cards, and that would be really good. But yeah, if Philip finds another swamp or something like that for next turn, he can go Duress into winning the game,
Mm-hmm.
which would be really cool. Okay.
Okay. He wants to go for something right now.
So he's doing the days check.
Well, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Even despite the tutor resolving, this does for sure not mean that Manuel doesn't have any counterspell.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. Maybe he could wait a turn and play through a days, because if you're able to do so, if you maybe want to go for the storm line, the days also counts towards your storm count, with which I think is oftentimes very crucial. And I think the Dark Ritual not resolving is just too valuable just to get 1 days out of the hand from Manuel. It's basically uh, he can pay 3 days with the Dark Ritual resolving. So I think this is actually quite good for Manuel. This trade.
Definitely, because the cards you want to play around here, or that you want to put your cards into, are not the cards that you can play around.
Yeah.
Because there was no pressure on the side of Philip.
I mean, the only thing or the only reason to do it is if this Dark Ritual resolves, he would have more or less a guaranteed win. Then, okay, he might go for it, which more or less loses to days in what happened right now. I mean, it's not losing, but yeah, this idea loses to days.
Yeah, and here we see a double bolt on the side of Manuel, which fastens up the clock a little bit.
Yeah.
A double top on the side of Manuel, so it seems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quite
And
scary.
I think he has now 4 cards in hand. With that, it means that he for sure has the bolts. The force in hand, not the bolts.
You certainly should expect the force, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe even a second one.
A force and maybe even a days, a second one. Or
Yeah.
a second force, as you said, yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the turn to try to go off in some kind, or
I'm not sure actually, because you are still at 13 life. The Arcanist doesn't have any value right now. I think you can easily maybe wait 1 or 2 extra turns if you need to find some more cards. Being patient with a combo deck is very important.
Yeah.
If you can afford to do so.
Yeah, the problem is the Arcanist is just so good, and with the top, I would say I'm 90% sure that there is at least 1 cantrip in the hand of Manuel now, and that is the scary part for me, because that means with 1 or 2 cantrips, or with not 1 or 2 or 2 or 4 cantrips, I'm quite sure that he will have triple counter magic pretty soon.
Yeah.
And that's the problem for Philip actually.
That yeah, but if you can't beat one force, why should you do it right now? Because you have to expect it. And in that case, I would try to draw one or two extra cards to find maybe one or maybe two extra ways to fight through these counter spells. Dark Ritual into Dark Ritual. He has a
Okay.
6 mana floating.
Ill-gotten gains.
Ill-gotten gains. 2 mana
So he has
floating.
three mana floating. 2 mana floating, yeah. 3
Okay,
mana
this is
available.
actually interesting.
Yeah, but this will eat the force here.
If he has a force, it should for sure eat it.
But forcing this doesn't make any sense. Because he will because Manuel would get back force, brainstorm, and days. And yeah, good luck fighting against that.
Yeah, and yes, that's definitely a good point, actually. Yeah.
I think. I mean, what would Philip get? He would have gotten a line that would involved him getting through one spell. That was needed because I think he would needed some amount of mana.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the tutor or something like that. And with that, it's a little bit hard for him to win the game here, because I think he has 1 or 2 cards left in hand. Should be 2. He's just looking through his sideboard, which indicates he has a Karn in hand.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
he's just moving on.
passing the turn.
And the thing here is, I think you just Dark Ritual here and cast the Ill-Gotten Gains because it costs 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because your opponent doesn't know the values of your deck, so he will for sure force the card.
Yeah,
I'm 90% sure. Even though it would be, I mean, if it resolves, you are quite a little bit of trouble because you have to keep the 3 cards now. And that's a little bit problematic because these cards are actually not that great, I would assume, because you have only 1 mana remaining and you have to do something with it now. And yeah, so
and
we
it
have a
has to beat a force and a daze for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
you
And you have only 1 mana remaining, so
Yeah,
yeah. I think my line would be the line: assume your opponent is a little bit dumber with or doesn't know the deck that much, to say it nice. And Philip's line was, if it resolves, I maybe can win the game, but if it doesn't if it resolves, I haven't thrown everything into it, and if it resolves, yeah, I may win the game even.
mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't resolve it, yeah, force the force out of the hand. So yeah. A quick update for you, Jonas. Does Cardboard Live work now for you? Please put a small message into the chat. And Gino, it's okay if you're late as long as you rewatch the VOD from the beginning. So that's something great with the internet. We have the possibility to rewatch everything, and actually that's great. And by the way, you can check out our YouTube account. Just search in YouTube Austrian Legacy League, and there you find us. There is every stream, every VOD will be released there. And yeah, enjoy watching our commentary, and yeah, let us know for some Yeah, well, I need to rewatch the bot because I will cut it for YouTube. Yeah. So I think this is, as we would call it in schools, an A plus for you, Chino.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now
Well earned.
we have now 4 cards in the hand of Manuel, and yeah.
And he pondered twice, I think, right?
He pondered twice and brainstormed twice. So
Oh yeah. Okay.
it just doesn't look good for Philip here.
Dark Ritual
Ooh.
into Hex Mage. Yes, Jonas, of course. Each round and every round is relevant for the exams.
Yeah. We will ask everything after the second leg of groups is done on the Tuesday, 19 p.m. CET.
Yeah.
Force pitch ponder here.
Force pitch force. Nice.
A force pitch force. That's
Well,
actually nice.
Yeah, that's kind of scary for my tastes. But given the fact that he pondered and brainstormed twice.
I mean, on the side of Philip, I'm really, really okay with. I mean, it just depends if. I'm currently not sure if Manuel has 2 or 3 cards in hand.
There should be 2 left.
Okay.
The Hex Mage was forced. Yeah. I mean, it was a 2 for 2.
Yeah. And yeah, the problem is just Manuel couldn't find a good clock the whole game.
Yeah.
He's just, I mean, not a single Arcanist trigger was missed the whole game. He never had a spot where he had more than, yeah, I think he had no spot in the game where he had a single instant or sorcery in the graveyard.
That's actually lethal because he has 2 bolts.
Wow. Okay, that's quite big.
This is, I mean, if despite the game or the clock for Manuel starting off rather slow, he had lots of interaction. And with the 2 extra bolts, or I think he cast 6 bolts this game actually.
6 bolts, yeah.
Yeah. The clock is of course also good enough with an Arcanist.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's just
first game goes to Raktelva.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I think the matchup doesn't get really better. I mean, what is the quality interaction on the side of Manuel?
He has Submerge is a little bit problematic because he can't cast it for free. He would love it against Marit Large, but this is one of the advantages of this Black Death deck. Not having forests in the deck. Submerge just costs 5 mana, which is just, I mean, yeah, it's just too slow, honestly.
The only card I think is the library. I think Caracas crop rotation does a little bit.
Ancient Grudge also looks good, in my opinion.
Yeah, Ancient Grudge is fine.
It is actually really strong. It kills a Painter, a Grindstone, a Helm. Or the helm is not.
The helm is not. The helm doesn't work. The grindstone doesn't work. It's just the painter.
The painter and the lattice or the other toolbox things from Karn.
Yeah, the lattice is a good point actually.
I think the grudge is or also the braid a good card.
And the defense grid, yeah. Because defense grid is the card that Philip really wants in this matchup.
So I'm thinking Surgicals, Braid, Ancient Grudge, the Library, and Caracas and Crop Rotation.
Yeah.
I don't think the Oko is a little bit.
Yeah, I like the Oko because the Oko can.
I know you can elk the artifacts, but I think it's just very slow.
Mm,
I
yeah,
I
it's
personally would just go full ham and just cut all the slow grindy cards and go all in for a quick clock with forces and spell pierces and just play a Delver game, you know.
yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely a good point here.
that's my idea at least.
Yeah, that's the question if you want to board out maybe the spell pierces or something like that.
No, I don't
Because you
think so.
don't
No,
want to
no.
hold up the mana because you
Uh,
or you
I don't think so.
board out some bolts.
No, mm, the bolts is still important for the clock, or it can also kill a Karn. I'm more looking at one or two wastelands. Oh no,
Yeah, the wastelands that don't look that good.
no. There's of course a problem. The wasteland can still stop the dark depths combo.
Yeah,
So
I still think that yeah, Croprot Caracas instead of two wastelands seems like a okay trade-off because uh yeah because Croprot and Caracas deal um with Marajlage easily. They do the same. So you just swap out a little bit better to a little bit better cards than two wastelands, which would do nothing in this matchup.
I don't think they don't. The problem is wasteland does something in this matchup.
Yeah, it prohibits a little bit of mana, and
Yeah, it stops the
yeah,
combo, the dark depths combo.
yeah, but Karukas does the same.
I, Here's what I would do. I would cut the three Okos, probably a preordain,
Okay,
and maybe one wasteland
okay.
for Caracas
For
grab rotation,
a braid, ancient crutch.
surgicals, and the ancient grudge for sure.
Uh, against what do you want to surgical?
Um, yeah, that's a good question actually. There's so many different combos from Philip's side that
And the
it's tough
problem
to.
is Khan ignores surgical.
Can't ignore surgical. That's true.
I mean, Khan just takes the surgical cards. So yeah, it's quite hard to surgical correctly. I think you can surgical something in an ill-gotten gains turn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would be something good because if Philip wants to, and most of the time, if he ill-gotten gains, he wants to take a lot of dark rituals or lines of diamonds or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with that, you can choose one of these mana makers, I would say, or mana generators.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult decision, and it seems like Philip kept his 7, and Manuel is mulliganing down to 6. So yeah, yes. Maybe we even get Manuel today on the stream going 9 points and 6-0 in games. Just an
Yeah.
unbeatable rug.
Yeah. Could be
We
the
we
case.
we have to make some story up now. So I think this is the duress on turn 1 or the Thoughtseize. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is really really big.
Mm-hmm.
And
Tropical, Floodstrand, Wasteland, Delver, Ponder, and Days.
oh, I think the decision take Ponder, let him stranded would be okay.
Ponder is a good idea. I also could see Delver
Yeah,
as a pick.
this is the card you just play around for the whole game.
Yeah. Days, okay. Does he have the combo on turn 1 maybe?
I think this indicates that he will do something broken on turn 2.
No. Yeah. But, do you think? Yeah, but the Ponder being cast on turn 1 just is kind of scary as well. And
Yeah.
I think you could. We of course don't know. Okay, this is even more surprising. Given that Philip took the days turn 1, I think I would just snap pawn it here. Turn 1. Finding or
Yeah.
trying to find a force.
If this... wait, he's...
Plague Engineer.
Boah. Plague Engineer is... Yeah, Plague Engineer and Wizard.
Okay.
Plague Engineer shuts now off each Delver and each Dreadhorde Arcanist.
Yeah. And it can trade with a Goyf or a Mandrills later on. Ponder.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we now know 2 lands in the hand of Manuel still.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think the turn how it went was fine for Philip.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you acknowledge that he wants to play a turn 2 Plague Engineer, it seems fine to take the days just because the days would have prohibited him.
Of course, yeah. In this case, I can see the idea from Philip.
Yeah. If you see the combo aspect of his deck, it would make no sense to do.
Unless he wants to combo on turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. So yeah, here we see a fetch and maybe a brainstorm end of turn.
End of turn brainstorm.
No, he already untapped.
Okay. Maybe I missed.
So the fetch was before the draw because he knew the cards on top of his deck because of the ponder.
Yeah.
Now we have the Corona cut. Bottom, middle, top on the side of Philip called. And yeah. Let's see what our Delver specialist will do against our random pile specialist. And here we have an O2. Nice.
Wasting. Wasting the. Oh, okay. This is a mistake. This is a mistake, of course.
This is. I love to see it. I mean, it's just the small things that you have to know.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, a big blunder on the side of Manuel. This could be a Khan or something like that here.
Even if you could wasteland this stage, I think you still wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You want to wait for or hold up the wasteland for the Dark Depths combo, in my opinion.
Yeah. And here the duress could be quite devastating now.
Yeah, on the other side, Philip seems that he has should be a brainstorm.
You have to win this turn to take the days, yeah.
Philip does not have much else to go on. I think he has only 1 card left in his hand, or 2 cards. Oh, it's 2 cards. Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's 2 cards, yeah.
Yeah, okay. He still could have something up and ready for the next turn, maybe.
Yeah. The problem is, it depends how many bolts Manuel boarded out.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. If Philip didn't do anything for this turn, I'm not generally a fan of casting a random duress. As in a combo deck, you generally want to save your discard spells for the combo turn or for the turn that you want to do something broken. Because the opponents, especially when you're up against the blue deck, gets to cantrip, gets to sculpt the hand again, and then you're missing the targeted discard on your turn. And so I'm not sure I like the duress on Philip's side here.
Yeah, and especially with now a Grille de Defense on the field.
Yes.
I borrowed this one to Philip, and it's fun. I took with me from Barcelona when I was playing the modern event of the card market series.
Okay.
And I was trying these out in the sideboard, and they were actually
quite
not
nice,
that bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, the one cool thing was that I wasn't reading the card. I I was just thinking it was a more modern card, and I completely dismissed the fact that it was symmetrical.
Yeah, I think this is what happens most of the or oftentimes with this card. Yeah, that you forget that you also have to pay 3 extra on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was my counter to a lot of um yeah blue decks running around in the meta actually, and yeah, it worked out well. And yeah,
the Mandrills now puts in a lot of work.
I I'm not sure if I agree on the fact that Philip attacked here.
Yeah, especially now he's a bolt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Now
yeah,
he's
the
in
Arcanist
quite some trouble.
is
Arcanist is unlocked.
unlocked. Yeah.
And question is, do you bolt him? No. You
I
want
don't think so.
some counter magic here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get the panda, we get the looking.
In the
Here
face of the defense grid, I don't think that is out of.
Panda brainstorm decks.
Yeah, I think this is not out of the game for Philip yet because he has the
One turn. Yeah.
defense grid. He has 1 turn basically right now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just this turn now. And that's the problem.
That's game and the match. In fact,
Yeah.
Manuel, quite on a strong lead today. 2-0 and 4-0 in matches actually.
Yeah. So we have some dream to accomplish and to showcase every matchup. We have now, in the next matchup, we will have, for the next round, then we will have Manuel against Michael. And I will just tune in to the guys. And and look out if they are still playing, and then we will tune in to the side match.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, the standings are currently 1-0 for Mitte Michael.
Oh, okay.
And
So we are even only at the second game, yeah?
yeah,
We have Michael.
Mitte on the left side and Michael Höller on the right side. And Michael Mitte is playing Goblins against DeTH Texas on the right. Unfortunately, the battlefields are not corrected for us. But yeah, maybe we can do something for next game, but we will let them play this game undisturbed.
And it is 1-0
Null.
for
Michael Mitte.
for Michael Mitte. Okay. Makes sense. Goblins should be a really good matchup for DeTH Texas should be a good matchup for Goblins.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah, because Goblins has a lot of tools to deal with their artifacts and generally grind a lot better than DeTH
Here we
Texas.
see a munition expert sacked through the ability of Goblin Thrashmaster to destroy a cheetah, which is one of the ways that DeTH Texas wins this matchup, and we will see most likely a Battle Skull here.
Yeah.
Or a Flicker Wisp. Yeah. And getting most likely a Battle Skull or something like that. Hey Phil. Phil the Gift is actually our winner of the last back in the days was called LLL Season's End Tournament. Now it would be called most likely the all set tournament.
Yeah.
And yeah, he won, I think, with elves, winning in the finals with a turn 2 combo in game 1 and the turn 3 combo in turn 3. In game 2. Definitely shout outs to him. And yeah. Have you seen which card
was picked from
Michael got with the Stoneforge?
Unfortunately not, yeah.
It was, yeah. You can't give too much honor. You have to recognize someone who plays good Magic and try to learn from them. That's the only thing you can do for improving. Seeing what they do better than you, and yeah, try to focus on this and improve your own gameplay. And yeah, we have a Goblin Matron here. And yeah, we see no legendary creature on the field. So quite interesting. And what's interesting is the huge body on the side of Michael Höller, with the 5/5 Luminac Aspirant, which is a really good card. Because as we were saying about previously, the Tarmogoyf or even the Hooting Mandrills are quite hard to deal with for goblins because they're getting really big and they're hard to handle for them. And the Luminac Aspirant makes every creature of you into this creature.
Yeah.
In such a creature of size. And with that, that's quite hard to deal with. Because with the 5/5 on the field, and I think
interesting.
Demolition's Expert.
I think so. would
indicate a 1-drop in the hand of Michael, but I think he has no cards left in hand.
Yeah, I'm assuming the mother is active, so I'm not sure Demolition Expert will do much here.
Yeah, I completely dismissed the mother of runes.
And so I think I would just go for value Maxen here. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Maxus for next turn would be really big. Sword of Fire is good, but you have the Fresh Master for it.
Okay, this must be the card he had searched with the Stoneforge then.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fire and Ice is good because he can get in with the Luminac Ascension, for example, if he can equip it.
Aspirant. Luminac Ascension is...
Aspirant, sorry, yeah.
A card I used to play in Modern.
This is the enchantment, right?
This is the enchantment. It was the thing that won you the matchup in Mardo Proc against Ubi Control. And yeah, I think these cards are a little bit combined. Not combined.
This is very interesting. I would definitely not expect Michael Höller to activate the mother to give most likely the aspirant protection, unless it's lethal in some way.
Maybe he's lethal. It's a little bit glossy on the smartphone, so I'm not sure.
This could be lethal. Yeah, it might be lethal.
It's a lethal attack.
Yeah, okay. This makes sense then.
Okay, so we are now 1-1.
Heading into game 3.
Yeah. So we have 90 minutes now for the next game. And yeah. Looks good.
Maybe we can inform the guys later on that how much time they have left. It seems this matchup will take a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think we will tune in 5 minutes pre extra turns.
Okay. Seems fair.
This should work out for them. And I think it's good to see this matchup too. This matchup will be definitely featured as the primary stream game for the second leg.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were telling you guys at the start of the stream, each group will play a double round robin elimination group. The first two advance, the last two fall out of the tournament. And then we have standard top 8 procedure, or not really standard, because player 1 and player 2, or the first, the guy who finishes first in a group will play against another guy who finishes second in another group. And then we will have quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals, just as in football. And I think we had a quick bathroom break or something like that for our two guys.
Seems like it. Yeah, they're taking it easy.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's. I think you have to tune down the. I tuned just in shortly to the guy.
Sure. You can also tell them the time they have left, maybe. My bet is still on Goblins for this matchup. Or for this, for this matchup still.
Wait, what? I was just talking to them.
I just mentioned that I think this matchup is still for Goblins. I kind of like the side of Goblins a little bit more.
Yeah, Goblins have definitely the advantage to go a little bit, more, or making a bigger side of their field, definitely a bigger board presence. Yeah, just the potential of a Maxos, or Team Michi. Team Michi.
I'm full on Team Michi. I'm the biggest fan.
Yeah. I'm happy as long as Michi wins this game.
Yeah, and Michi, I think Michi should lose also.
I think we can do both for you guys. So, yeah. What are the cards? Do you even bring in the Bolt? I think so.
For sure. I think
because if you draw the Bolt, and I think the Pyrokinesis is a card that you definitely want.
Yeah.
You like the Bolt, you like the Pyrokinesis, you like the Fresh Master, and yeah, I think that's it. What are the cards you don't like?
That you don't like? Good question.
The Pile Driver seems worse.
Pile Driver can just get blocked by anything, basically, yeah.
Yeah, and Mock War Marshal is
it's a grindy and annoying card that floods the board. I kind of like the War Marshal, I have to say.
Yeah.
Chain Whirler is fantastic, of course. Maybe you could trim the... I'm not sure if you ever cut lackeys, but it just seems unlikely that he can successfully attack through the board of Death and Texas.
Yeah.
But this might be a holy cow, I'm not sure. Sacred cow.
I have to say, I'm not sure that I would make this play.
Which play?
This one here.
Destroying the vial.
Yeah.
Right away. Yeah.
Because you're just fearing the Mother of Runes. Mother of Runes is the card you fear the most as Goblins, I would say.
Or also Jite, of course. And Creator Maker can, of course, also deal with that kind of stuff. I also think that the vial, maybe, this is actually a good point, maybe the vials are one of the things you want to cut in this matchup. I know a lot of Death and Texas players say you should never cut vials, but I'm not sure. In grinding matchups, I
I think
kind
you
of
can
like it.
go down to 3 at least, yeah, because you want to draw one of them.
And you don't want to top deck them later on in the game.
Yeah.
Certainly not. And I don't think that the vials are that impactful. Yeah, you can tempo the opponent out and do something crazy with Flicker Wisp and Skyclave, of course, but I'm not sure. I'd much rather have all my threats and just play a fair game.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Death and Texas against Goblins feels like two draft decks jamming against each other, or more specific to
feels draft, man.
Sealed decks or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Sealed is also heavy board stalling, a lot of creatures playing it out, trying something. And here I'm not sure if I'm on board with fetching up a non-basic. Actually, does he have a swamp?
No, I don't think so. That's
okay.
Goblins should.
Then the only reason is that he's doing that.
Yes, munitions expert.
Yeah.
A bolt.
No, he doesn't need a bolt. He just.
But he cast a bolt.
Okay, he has a munitions expert and a bolt. Okay. Getting in for 1, so he got rid of that. And in this matchup for Michael, I think you board out the Thalias because they are not really that great, actually.
Yeah.
I think you want the Skyclave as an answer to most of them, and I really, really like the Gideon actually in this matchup.
Yeah, it's a grandy strong card.
Because the emblem is so huge. You gain the possibility of making your whole board just a small bit bigger than it needs to be. Just a 1/1 on each 1/1 you have on the field is against Goblins, who also produces 1/1, is really, really huge.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a Gideon.
And we have. I wasn't looking at the boards, that I was just looking at the sideboard, so actually really, really nice that he plays it out.
Oh yeah, you were talking about sideboarding. Yeah, he already has it on the battlefield.
Nice. Unfortunately, another big miss on the side of Michael. Yeah, only one card is definitely not the spot you want to be, and yeah.
Oh yeah, happens.
And now we maybe see in effect next turn the Fresh Master with the small boost it provides. So it's
yeah, but honestly, what does a Fresh Master do here?
It gets rid of the vial, which could do some shenanigans.
Yeah, I don't think you would kill a vial. I don't think.
The bigger thing on the Fresh Master is that it provides +1/+1, which would allow you that the ringleader can attack into the Gideon.
Yeah. I much rather would wait with the Trash Master to destroy one of the the equipments.
Yeah, definitely. Would be definitely the stronger player.
But yeah, we'll see.
And here we see
what Michael is doing. Or the Goblin player.
Yeah, the Planeswalker is a Gideon ally of Zendika, Destroyer of Standard. I mean, it never destroyed Standard, but it was
certainly strong. Sorcerer Spyglass. Okay.
And here we see a Skyclave Apparition, most likely.
In response. Okay, no. Anyways, for sure would name Gideon.
Yeah,
Anyways,
definitely.
I don't think that you would
because
name
you have the Fresh Master in hands to deal with this, but this will definitely get here the Skyclave Apparition now. Or Flicker Wisp? Maybe I'm just bad at Magic and just telling some random cards I know that are in this deck.
I honestly would just...
I mean, the Flicker Wisp is the body and can flicker the Recruiter and then get the Skyclave Apparition.
Yeah.
and this one you can while in afterwards. So it makes kind of sense actually to do this in that line if you want to answer the sorcerer spyclass. But I'm not sure if you even want to do this. And unfortunately, we do not know currently what it is on.
I would guess Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon is
Which is by
definitely the
far
card
the-
to beat here.
By far the scariest card.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, Michael Höller did activate the vial in response to the spyglass. I'm not even sure if I would do that actually, because I think Gideon is just the snap pick for this kind of situation. And
Yeah, but I mean, you don't want to lose the profit in.
but if he takes vial, then
you're fine with
Gideon,
it, yeah.
then I have my Gideon, and I think this is far stronger. And you can, and I would still expect Gideon to be taken, and then you can vial in the recruiter end of turn and have more information based on what Michael Mitters did in the rest of his turn. That was my idea.
Yeah, and you can't. I mean, you can't protect the card that you toot up with the recruiter because you have to show it either way. So yeah. But the board state definitely favors the one with more creatures on the field.
Yeah, right now for sure.
Yeah. So we have now the Skyclave, which was already in the hand, and yeah, let's see what Michael can do here.
Thanks for Parallax for the follow.
Thanks a lot. It definitely helps us out if a lot of guys and girls are following us. And yeah, say hi in the chat. Welcome to the boys. The chat is currently a little bit occupied by a lot of Austrian players, but yeah, you are definitely welcome whether or not you are from Austria. Yeah. So we have the Flicker Wisp on the board. It's just getting a little bit too big for myself, I have to admit, and I think this game is pretty much locked up on the side of Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really, really hard. And if Gideon just emblems, the board is way too strong now. And he even does this in slow motion.
Yeah, he even does it to give it extra effects.
Yeah, maybe soon you're allowed to do a second follow, because on Monday we will have a short summer stream about the whole event, how it went, what were our expectations, what did really happen. We will summon up the whole groups, the whole first leg, and after that we can try to get how's it called, Twitch, not partner, the smaller thing,
affiliate.
Twitch affiliate, and with that you guys will be allowed to subscribe to our channel, which would be a honor if you do so, and would definitely help the channel out.
Yeah.
And definitely, Phil, thanks for the nice words. We do our best. We have a small things that could be improved on, but I think for our first big online event, it's definitely running smooth. And here I will give a small shoulder clap to myself and our co-hosts because we can't do so. And yeah, just focus back on the match. We have a lot more Knight Ally tokens. We have Michael on one life, and
this is a Maxus.
Is this?
Yes.
He's still in the game. He's still in the game. Because if you get the chieftain, this is game most likely. Chieftain.
Yeah. Oh, and the pile driver even.
This should be game.
This is nice.
This could be game. The problem is there's one knight's token blocking.
Yeah, there's one knight blocking, and unfortunately the pile driver for sure. He has a matron.
But Maxos gets plus something actually. So
This might be interesting now.
because Maxos gets +1/+1 for each other goblin you control.
Okay, yeah. So it's a
And
8/8. It's an 8/8, right? Yeah.
and unfortunately, does the chieftain? Is this the chieftain?
I think he
Or
has.
is this no? It's a war chief, unfortunately. So
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't pump the board.
it doesn't pump, but they still have haste, and I think he has 15 damage on board, because I would expect the knight to block the pile driver.
Okay.
Or
The problem is I'm currently not knowing what one of these.
we have a ringleader, a matron. It should be a matron.
Okay.
The war chief, the 2/2 from the Skyclave apparition, and the Maxis.
Okay.
And the Maxis should be an 8/8. With the 2/2, it's 10 damage. Matron 11, the war chief 13, and the ringleader 15 damage, assuming the pile driver will get blocked.
Yeah, but unfortunately,
he also has
he's at
the
19.
apparition, and he also has an apparition, right?
Yeah, but his opponent is at 19 life,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
For sure. So this might not be enough.
Yeah.
This doesn't look like, and he is out of mana, and he has no way to cast additional goblins.
Yeah, if he would have hit another goblin, I think this would have been the game.
Yeah.
It's just so insane how.
I would call it the 2020 All Cup, because this is the coronavirus year, and this is the event we have instead of FNM and Paper Magic, and we might as well have another cup maybe in 2021. So
yeah, I think
this is definitely
if it works out well, we will definitely do something again.
Yeah,
we have to, or we may do it a little bit farther out, but we have to definitely discuss this in our
we have the raid of Grisou.
Thanks, Grisou, for raiding the channel. Unfortunately, I'm currently only able to do this. To Sharkhead you back. Yeah, we are currently enjoying your favorite deck, slamming and Maxos on an empty board and having after that over 20 power. So
but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's enough.
Yeah.
And this should be game, and the match.
Yeah. So
but it almost turned the corner.
Yeah, I think he was one goblin missing. Something like that.
Yeah. Or instead of the matron, another pile driver, for example.
Yeah, a sling gang or...
A sling gang also, yeah.
A sling gang would have made the deal. A Pashlik Mons would be really, really good. Yeah, there were a lot of possibilities that he could have drawn. So... Because he even had a Skirk Prospector on the field, so Pashlik Mons would be really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. At an LGS, this system looks really, really nice. It would definitely be something that we could do besides the regular FNM attendance for a little bit more time invested players, I would say. Yeah. But for now, I think we have to make a really, really short break of approximately 5 minutes again. And then we will resume with the last game of today, which is...
It must be Manuel against...
Devon, Texas.
So,
Texas.
Michael, yes.
So we have another Team Michi against Team Manuel.
Yeah.
Team M&M and yeah.
Team M&M. Certainly looks interesting. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. We are live again with the last round for today. We had the first match was Goblins against the Rock Delver, which we saw pretty convincingly winning with Rock Delver. A second match showed the Black Death deck from Philip against
Rakdelva
Delver again. Exactly. But the Black Death deck didn't catch a chance. It was also destroyed by our Rock Delver today. And so it's up for our last match, which is again Rock Delver against Death in Texas.
Yeah, and for today we will maybe have the first guy going for a 9 points first leg.
Yeah.
And with that, we mean that one gets the chance to go up for 9 points, which I think would then automatically qualify him for
Pretty much for the quarterfinals, yeah.
For the quarterfinals, yeah.
Yeah.
Would be definitely a big upset there if Manuel doesn't come through there. He did a lot of sweet plays today, a lot of piloting of cantrips, and yeah, it's
here you can see
quite a good play from him.
It's quite a good play for sure. Just shortly here you can see our tournament plan again. 4 different groups. We are in the group stage today. This will also be the case for the next upcoming weeks. After that we have the quarterfinals indicated by the graphic below. The semifinals, which consists of best of 5 matches, and then the finals and smaller finals, also best of 5 matches, bringing you guys some legacy content, online webcam tournament in this pandemic times. Yes, exactly. That we can still enjoy our favorite format that we all love. Okay.
It seems like that the boys are now ready to be featured, and I will just tell them that they can start with the game, and then we will resume with them.
Yes. As we said, we have Death in Texas, piloted by Michael Höller, and against Manuel Hochecker, which is kind of he's on a winning streak right now. He won both of his matches in round 1 and 2 with not dropping a single game up to this point.
And definitely strong here in the rolling a dice game with another 11. In the first round he won with 12. So I mean but the cool thing here is that it's the dice rolling doesn't decide anything, because you remember if you went play or draw on your games, and in the second round robin, in the second leg of our group phase, you play differently now. So each player goes 3 times on the play and 3 times on the draw. And this is really, really fair play. And I think definitely something that could be used. And I've been lately a little bit recently into chess. And
me too, actually. That's rather funny.
And in chess, it's so in tournaments, if you have an 8-round tournament of chess, a computer will decide whether you take the white stones or the black stones. And it should be for every player in the tournament that he takes 4 times white and 4 times black. So this could be nice for Magic too in some kind of way.
Of course. I mean, there's a little bit of an ongoing debate from the experts that if there is really a big difference in chess, if you go, you have the white pieces or the black pieces, I think the difference is not that big compared to Magic, of course. Because
it's like in tennis actually. It's if you can win a game with the black stones, it's it's a little bit like winning a game in a tennis set uh, when you don't have the smashing
Mm-hmm.
part, because it's a little bit more likely that you can win a game on white. And yeah,
For sure.
if you see
Yeah.
the deciding match in the Armageddon game in a chess game, if it goes on and goes on, is a game between white and black, and if it's a remis, or
A
it's a
draw.
draw,
Yeah.
or a win for it's if it's a draw, it counts as a win for black.
Mm-hmm.
And um how's it called? The first games are 4 minutes for the white player and 5 minutes for the black player. So there are small mathematical disadvantages for black. And I think this is a daze on the first ether, while in
The force of the second
and now we have a mother fruit, which could
resolved.
block now the never flipping Delva.
The never flipping Delva. Yeah.
Okay, should be a dreaded arcanist here would be actually nice.
Oh yeah.
And it's again such a great start on the side of Manuel. I mean, he had a little bit maybe of luck on his side with a lot of good opening hands with Delvas.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely how you play the deck, so nothing wrong here.
The only thing that would be better for him now would be a flip Delva, of course.
Or another days for the mother.
Another days for the mother. Yeah.
Oh, a mandrills.
It's also not too bad.
And this could indicate the bolt actually here.
Okay.
Okay, let's see what our Höller Michael do here. So Höller Michael is, I think, currently 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Because he won against
The
Michael
Goblins.
and
Yep.
and lost against Philip. And yeah, will be definitely interesting how Philip fares currently. I mean, we will tune in after this game. And
I have the fear that the matchup might be over as soon as our matchup is over.
yeah, most likely, because this game is a small little bit more interactive again, as opposed to the matchup before.
Yeah. A Thalia and a second mother for Michael.
Yeah. The real big part here is that, yeah, the trampling portion is really huge against protection.
Mm-hmm.
Because something that is really neat is if you attack with a Phyrexian Dreadnought and your opponent would have had blocked with a True Name Nemesis, you still deal 11 damage to your opponent.
Yeah.
The True Name doesn't die, but you can still deal the excessive damage to your opponent. And fun fact, you can decide how much it is, because this was really huge in Modern and for a small portion in Legacy, because trample damage and Death Shadow, you have to change it up a little bit, because if you deal damage to a Shadow player, the Shadow will grow before it would die. Because damage,
it's simultaneously, and afterwards the
new toughness is taken.
The actions, the game-based actions will follow.
Yeah.
Or state-based actions, sorry.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, a really interesting topic. Damage and trample, actually. And yeah, so we got the 4 damage through. He played a Wasteland, and yeah, let's see what he does. It's a little bit freezing here. Hey, welcome Iggy to the chat. Iggy's playing in group A, I think so. Yeah, should be Group
Let
A.
me check.
Yeah, he's playing in
Yes.
the We Destroy Elves with Plague Engineer group. And
Yeah. Flag engineer all the way.
yeah, it's
You know what would be good here? A plague engineer for manual side.
on elemental or on human.
Uh,
I think human would be
you,
better.
yeah, slightly. This is just a small nuance. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm one. I mean, for me, I'm 100% sure that I do not know which actions are happening after which action and why something is different. But I know for a fact that you can assign excessive damage while trampling to a blocking creature.
Yeah.
I do not know
We,
how it interacts that it survives and how it is cold, but I'm sure that you can do it.
mhm. I think one uh, requirement is to you have to assign lethal damage,
Yeah.
and I think you can assign more damage as well. Also,
But what's really nice in this match is that the Delver is still not flipped.
yeah, this is the manual delvers like we know them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Saga the Nix Delver.
Okay,
But
checking with the mandrels seems interesting here. Because based on how Manuel navigated this game, I don't expect him having a bolt,
yeah.
and for that reason, it is a little bit risky, but you could go for double blocking and giving protection to kill the mandrels.
Yeah, I think you block with a mother and the Flicker Wisp and protect the Flicker Wisp with the mother.
Yeah, with both mothers, right?
No, you can, yeah, you can block, you can protect both mothers, yeah.
Well, I kind of like this. I know it is a little bit of risky, but I don't think that Manuel has a bolt. And in that
Yes.
case, you should still get 2 damage.
Yeah. I will
Uh,
just tune into them
yeah.
if they don't correct it, so we'll be back.
But other than that, I like this trade. Uh, it removes the biggest threat for Manuel off the board for basically no cost.
Yeah.
And right now it looks quite good for Michael actually.
Yeah, the problem for Manuel is that he thought that he needed to do something, and that's really big. Because if Michael has to use the mothers on doing something aggressive, you have some opportunities to do something.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Brainstorm.
which should ensure a Delver flip,
Mm-hmm.
or he has two very bad cards, so it will be a random card on top, which is something that Manuel definitely doesn't hope so, and
Yeah.
we do not hope so either, because we want the interactive game and not the
A
I
screw
drew
game.
nothing for the whole game except my starting hand was great, which definitely seems the case currently for Manuel. I mean, it's kind of his fault because he's playing only 9 cantrips. So
What's the standard in Rock Delver?
I think 10.
Okay. You really think that one cantrip makes this big of a difference?
No, I was telling this as a joke
Yeah,
because
okay.
he's playing cantrips. But unfortunately, my
Okay.
humor is a little bit too dry. Okay, so
Is this
It was a port.
Ah, it was a port. Okay.
I was just thinking about
And
it's too.
yeah. And what did he reveal of the brainstorm?
I
Of the
think it was a.
the
I,
Delver
th- I,
flip.
th- I think it was a brainstorm.
Another brainstorm. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was the version from how's it called? The Chase spellbook.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the deck from Manuel, he's using the from the vault delve of secrets,
Secret.
which I'm using by the way too, but I'm using only the front side of it because I always have flipped delvers by my side in my deck boxes if I'm playing delver because I don't want to pull it out of my sleeve and I don't have to check cards actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I do not want to order them. I mean, they should be pretty cheap, but yeah, it's a little bit suboptimal using. I mean, it would be the right way to do it like this, but I mean,
So, does this mean you actually have 8 copies of Delver?
I think I have 12 or something like that.
No, I mean in your deck box when you're playing.
Yeah, but they are in different sleeves.
I'm not sure if this is still legal for tournaments. Actually, you might get into trouble, even if there are different sleeves.
I've used it in 2018,
Yeah.
and I was talking there to one of our level 2 judges.
Okay, and he said it was fine.
Yeah, and I always asked him if I'm allowed to use the delvers.
Yeah, certainly.
Because
you should do that.
These are promo delvers. They are foil on the backside. They're a little bit thicker, and if they are allowed on the sleeves, every time, every tournament, just to be safe. And Lassacher Klaus was the judge.
Okay.
So, yeah. And with this, we may have a chance to come back, but I'm not sure. The life total is at a 9. Yeah, the 3 is unfortunately a little bit too low for the side of
Manuel,
Philip
right?
Manuel.
Okay.
He's attacking for lethal.
This is actually lethal, yes.
Yeah.
This is actually enough.
This is exactly lethal.
You can pay the extra mana for the bolt.
Yeah. He's playing the 1 mana.
It's exactly lethal, yeah. Nice.
Nice. This definitely feels like a steal, I have to admit.
Yeah, that's Arcanist things.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same feeling as if as previously with Snap Custom Mage, Bolt Snap Bolt was just a great feeling, and here you can do it for 3 mana, which is basically insane.
Yeah, let's get the Ben train going. Ben Arcanist, Ben Bolt.
I would ban Bolt before Arcanist because
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the actual card who made 6 damage, right?
Yeah. So if you think about it, every Delta deck that was oppressive, which card was in it? Which
4
card?
Bolts. 4 bolts.
4 bolts.
Yeah.
4 bolts. Every version of it. Yeah, everyone says, yeah, just ban Days, ban Force of Will, ban Delver of Secrets. But which was the first card that was in these shells?
Yeah.
Bolt. Lightning Bolt. Yeah.
I think you solved Legacy, Peter, right now.
You heard it here now. Group D, first leg, stream. Ban Bolt. Bolt's the reason.
Mark it in your calendars. It's the 11th December of 2020. Ban Chino. Yeah.
No, we don't want to ban Chino. Ban your mom.
Yeah. I think he missed a G in that one, but I'm not sure.
No, it's correct. Ben da Mama. So
No,
it's
no, I was referring to something else, but
okay.
if you put a G behind the N.
I would ban Allosaurus Rider, as
Yeah,
Gino would call him.
yeah. Ben the Rider, of course. By the way,
Yeah.
thanks to Berka0815 and Fajita John. Thanks for your follows.
Thanks for following, guys. We appreciate it. And yeah, the game was definitely close.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was definitely a tough match to pilot for, I mean, both sides. Dreadhor, would you tell it?
Yeah, it was on 9 Live. He had an evasive Delver, and he just top deck a Bolt with an active Arcanist. So he had exactly 9 damage.
I think he had the Bolt in hand, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because he was ported, and I think normally you upkeep port. And he got upkeep ported. He used the mana, or he floated the mana pre-port, used the red mana to cast the lightning bolt into the face, and had a remaining land to pay for the cost of Thalia with the Dreaded Arcanist to cast the bolt a second time for a total of 6 damage. Death and Texas was on 9, and yeah, Delva attacked for 3, lethal in the air. And yeah, it seems like our 2 players are now finished with sideboarding and shuffling their decks. Maybe we can get the small belly shot of Micheli. Yeah, we have to do something for our OnlyFans account.
Yeah.
www.onlyfans.com/Austrian_legacy for you guys interested. You will see sexy hardboard gamers here.
Of course, yeah. But don't get us going with a Pornhub account also.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Yeah, and by the way of some links, I will drop you something in the chat that you maybe are interested. And for that, we will start on with something of self-advertisement. Because Daniel and I, together with Philip, our Black Death player, we are currently having a podcast which is called In Response, a legacy podcast. And there we talk, about legacy.
Yeah, most of the time.
Most of the time.
We just had our 12th episode recorded and published. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
It was published on this Friday.
This Friday, yeah. Mm-hmm. So
and
if you haven't watched it or listened to it, go listen to it.
Yeah, definitely. It's called Dirty Painting, because currently there is a little bit of painting going around. And yeah, we want to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We used our OnlyFans account to pay for the cost of producing it before it gets released to the public and can be bought via our web shop.
The web shop, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, and
oh, yeah.
Yes, we need to have some fun here.
Yeah, what else is important in life, right?
Yeah, definitely. There is another link in the chat this is our website where we have all of our paper play, published on, I would say. And the turn 1 and 2 is going rather good for Manuel here, with Delver resolving and the remove spell getting dazed. And let's see if he has no Force of Will. No Delver flip. A Delver flip here would be so huge because the body on the board doesn't really matter. You can't do anything with 1 mana.
For sure.
Here you play around Wasteland, which is something you should do. Which is, normally you don't want to give away free information after you dazed because you played another land. But here it definitely makes sense against a Wasteland deck.
Yeah.
And Team Zagadonix is definitely strong here, yeah. Unfortunately, as a no, Michi does not play any cats in his deck. So, Phil,
yeah. But it's just a cool cat, so I can see that.
Maybe he has to play Cat Jesus in the near future. But for now he is playing without him.
Yeah.
I mean, he could play Cat Lord too, which would be definitely something else.
Mm-hmm. Season 5 champion isn't updated yet on the website. Yeah, we are waiting for your sexy carpet picture to go alongside with it.
Yeah, we definitely need a picture of you naked in the drama like one of your French girls with your favorite cards in front. Wow. And this Blazing Volley will kill.
Yeah, this is strong.
Yeah. This Blazing Volley can end the game here. Because we know that he has a second land here.
But was it a walk? I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, he had the fetch land, so he must have taken the walk if he doesn't have it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Blazing Volley really is strong, yeah.
It's just Team Target was.
Show you something.
Yeah,
I show you
the Blazing Volley. Show you your death. This is it's just so big of a deal. I think this would be a party popper if I've ever seen one.
I like this one. Pop the party. Yeah. Let's see. If Michael finds a removal spell for the Delver, things are certainly not over yet.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, with one removal spell, all the work is finished, because.
And there we go. I don't think
this is the removal spell.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a Force of Will for it. And and here we see the difference, because at the first evaluations, a lot of the draft players evaluated Skyclave, and a lot of format specialists took their opinion on the card, and there was the conception that it isn't that great.
Yeah.
Because in draft it doesn't make a difference if you exile temporarily a 2/2 and they get back a 2/2 token. But or a 3/3, and after a removal spell they get back a 3/3 token. But in Legacy, the difference between a 3/2 flying or a 1/1 or a Oko and a 3/3 token
is huge.
Or a Khan and a 4/4 token is just huge.
Yeah.
And so Skyclave is definitely one of my top cards of 2020, actually. Just as it is not an oppressive haymaker, it is just a format solution. Yeah, and with that, we are moving on now on the side, and we have instant sorcery land creature most likely in the graveyard, and with that it should be a 4/5. And this one is a big creature now that Michael has to deal with.
I have to say, I was never a fan of putting a dice on Tarmogoyf. This might be just me, but this, I play a lot of Tamoglyphs as I'm playing Chant in Modern, and I think it is just better to get in a habit of remembering and having the state of the graveyard all times in your head, because the if you have to update the dice all the time, it's just a little bit too I don't know. Oftentimes you forget it, and then problems
occur. Yeah.
occur. Yeah, in my opinion, we actually had this on stream today already, because it was assumed that the Goef is still a 4/5, but it's actually a 3/4.
Yeah, but for me, it's a good thing with the dice actually, because I'm a fan of doing that, because I do not want to think about the whole time which types are in the graveyard, because if you don't use a dice, it indicates that you do not use any kind of remembering tool actually. And
Well, if you don't have a dice on Tamoglyph and you point a removal spell and you want to damage your opponent, you are forced to check it by
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? So you can't forget this. But if you put the dice on Tamoglyph, you don't think about it anymore, and then you don't get into a habit of thinking about this thing or from time to time, and or when it matters, because you just assume, okay, I have my dice on it and it's fine. And
Yeah.
that's my problem on it. And it's actually not that hard. For At the beginning, I was really confused of the card types. I often had to check multiple times before I get the correct number. But after a few times, it's just you see it immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of see it. I kind of see it.
But of course, it's just me. It's of course fine to do so.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So here we see the correct strategy of Michael, one port in the upkeep and the second port in the draw step.
Mm-hmm.
This
Like
is definitely
also.
how you do this. And yeah. Here we see another brainstorm now. He's cut off of red mana, which is huge because he needs now a volcanic or fetch land if he draws his 2-drop, which would be Dreaded Arcanist. And yeah. So I think the board state is, even if Manuel has nothing on the board, I think it's a little bit favored on the side of Manuel still. Because, I mean, if variance kicks in, by no means Stefan Texas is out of it. But yeah, something that is definitely in favor of Manuel is that he's playing a lot of cantrips. He will find the cards he need to, and yeah, Michael has to rely on the top of his deck.
Unfortunately, this is one of my biggest problems for decks like these in Legacy. Only getting to draw one card per turn is oftentimes just too reliant or too dependent on variance.
Yeah.
For the outcome of the game.
Yeah. And yeah, the cards are, or the raw card that you will draw is most likely better, but yeah, that doesn't mean that every card is good, because you need to have a mana base or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really, really good defining tool. And yeah. And with that, we see now a lot of cantrips being cast. Manuel finds a threat. And this is another thing that, yeah, Michael has to deal with. And yeah,
if
the
he
current
has a sword. Okay.
The aspirant is pretty huge. The aspirant forces now Manuel to have a remove spell for the next turn. Or within the next 2 turns, actually. Because aspirant isn't allowed to go above bolt range. Yeah, this is Maybe I missed something in the chat, but Phil, what was your thing that you want to mention? After 1 year legacy, I need to mention what? Mention that you put the dice in front of a Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we see the correct play of Michael with the
Correct porting. Yeah.
the correct porting, the correct +1/+1 counter.
I mean, I don't think that you can strictly say that you always have to port like that, because sometimes you just don't want, if you're playing around one exactly card, one mana spell off the top of the library, might be better to port it in the upkeep.
Yeah.
Double port.
I think porting in the upkeep is, yeah.
I mean, double porting, if we talk about this double porting idea.
Yeah, double porting with only 2 red sources is definitely correct, because I mean, it doesn't really matter if you port him now in the draw step, because he can draw the bolt, but it's statistically, I mean, at least he can't play a Dreaded Arcanist or something like that. So red is definitely the color you want to port off.
He can do this despite the influence of upkeep and draw step porting. I think the idea would be that you don't have 2 mana floating. Better Skull.
Better Skull.
I think about it. Yeah, this is strong.
This is strong. I mean, if you have the force, I think you have to blow it now. I mean, this is game 2, so there are ways to kill it, but again, you have to do it in exactly the next turn, because then there are the 3 mana available for
bouncing the Better Skull.
Bouncing the Better Skull.
Yeah.
Oh, is there actually a rule for where the dice has to be put?
If there is such a rule, I personally really like it, because, like I said, I hate dices on my Tamagotchis. Yeah. But
I mean, I'm just starting out with Pokemon again, and there is, I mean, it was previously that if you put if you tapped it to the left, it was one state of the Pokemon. If you tapped it to the right, it was another state on the Pokemon. And if you turned it completely around, this was another state. This was for paralysis, confusion, and sleep, I think. But now with the pandemic, we know that there is no common sense within people. If we could fight the virus with how to say this, with common sense, it would have been possible to negate a few waves, I would say.
A few waves.
Yeah. Or the biggest part of the wave. So we have to rely on law, and law with a magic would have been. I'm not sure about this bolt actually.
On the Skyclave. What would you bolt the aspirant instead?
I think so. Because the 1/1 token doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The 1/1 token is completely useless.
Yeah.
But the aspirant is something that you need an answer for next turn. I mean, if you have an Oak or something like that, it could work out, but besides that, and still an Oko is for next turn. Yeah, you still have the Better Skull that you have to fight for.
Yeah, it seems really tough.
And if you Oko the Better Skull, he even keeps the 1/1 token now.
Yeah, Gino, Manuel has his camera inverted, so we have to defend him on this. He's not tapping it the wrong way.
I always tap to the left. And
Yeah.
I always put in cornflakes before. I always put in milk
Milk
before
before cornflakes.
cornflakes.
Yeah.
Because I'm a psychopath.
First milk, then cornflakes, then the bowl. Right? This is the way you do it.
But nowadays I do water then cornflakes. No, jokes aside, we're watching a competitive card game here. And yeah, unfortunately, no good draw for Manuel.
This might be the first game of today that Manuel will lose.
Yeah, he definitely needs an answer really, really soon for his
For the better skull.
for the better skull. Yeah, and
The aspirant is also getting bigger and bigger. But most likely it is pumping the germ token right now.
Yeah. And now, unfortunately, this is, I think, a small mistake on the side of Michael. He double ported in the draw step.
Okay.
And with that, he does not have the 3 mana available to bounce the better skull.
Ah, yeah.
And I think the ability to bounce
Is
bounce as a better skull in this spot is just more important than a single port.
Yeah.
I mean, the port did some value because it ported the land, but we know that there is an Abrade in the deck of Manuel. There is an
yeah, he could have ported both red in the upkeep. This is fine, I think.
And the Goif doesn't matter at all on this field. These creatures are completely useless because of the Luminac Aspirant. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think this was a really, really big punt on the side of Manuel. I think this was his first mistake, or big mistake, I would say, in this spot. Because as we saw, the 1/1 was just thrown in front of the germ token, and yeah.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
The Luminac should have been bolted there.
Yeah. Because the Luminac is the thing that gets out of hand. And now, if you see the germ token is now next turn, it will survive the bolt.
Yeah.
So it's... yeah.
Again, porting? Okay, interesting. Well, porting the 2 volcanics in the upkeep is fine, I think.
Yeah. Because if he would have a bolt, he would have done it before. So definitely the correct play here. Yeah, have to agree here.
Unless he drew exactly a braid last turn. Or well, I think he didn't port the volcanics last turn.
I think he did 1 volcanic in the upkeep and 1 in the draw step.
Okay. Yeah. If you go, this is a situation where I think the correct line would be to do it both in the upkeep.
Yeah. Just that. And I think one of each is definitely the wrong thing. You have to port someone off the colors.
The first thing that Manuel needs is a braid to kill the better skull.
Yeah.
And
if he's allowed to draw it.
Yeah. And even cast it.
Yeah. And he can't cast it if he has no red mana in his main phase. What is the decision currently? Maybe he's getting triple
ported.
Triple ported in the upkeep.
And what do we have in Manuel's hand? Do we have an Abrade? Ah, there's an Ancient Grudge. This is huge.
Ancient Grudge is the thing that can win him the game.
This is huge.
Because, yeah, it will just kill.
Yeah, that's the problem with the ports right now. I think, yeah.
Yeah, But this was the card that he would have to draw sooner or later. But yeah.
If Michael didn't port anything, he would still be in favor of winning the game. And right now it looks kind of tough.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
at least he gets to keep the charm token as a free.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, the Luminac Esperant essentially made a 3/3 token.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, I would not have played the Ether Vial, and I would only have double ported. I would have ported him off black, or of red,
Yeah,
and would have kept the mana up to bounce the Battle Skull.
yeah, for sure.
And this is the mistake that Michael made this game, that he was putting emphasis on triple porting and not keeping up mana to bounce his Battle Skull.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, with that now we have two bigger threats than the 2/2 and the 3/3 token on the side of Michael, and Manuel can go on Rampage again. And yeah.
Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe Manuel will still win this match.
I mean, I haven't counted Manuel out the whole game. I think the bolt was wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% sure that it was wrong. And I'm sure that Michael did wrong porting.
Yeah.
But besides that, the match goes okay. And yeah.
What does
Here making
Michael
a 4/4 token is definitely okay.
It's good,
and,
yeah.
And Michael just needs, I mean, if he can go for a recruiter, he can gain some small advantages back, but he needs something that can deal with the Tarmogoyf. Or
yeah,
and the one thing that would have dealt with the Tarmogoyf would have been a 5/5 Battle Skull.
Mm-hmm.
But I will just tune into the guys. We have a discussion about the dice on the Tarmogoyf. And the Tarmogoyf is actually a 5/6 because we have instant sorcery, land, creature, artifact, because there's a Battle Skull in the graveyard.
Oh yeah, and that's why you don't put dices on the Tarmogoyfs. Yeah, it just puts you in a safe logical spot. But yeah.
Okay, I'm back again.
that was the idea that I had, yeah. And that's the problem I have with the dices on the Goyfs. Yeah. You kind of still have to think about the card types all the time. You know what I mean? Because you have to update the dice. So why use the dice in the first place?
Yeah, Ige, they heard it because I'm just going quickly off of broadcast, tuning into the Discord to the guys, telling them what is wrong, and then continuing with casting the games, which is the system we are now using because it's, I think the thing to do, because it's going really, really smooth. We can correct correct as a judge for the things we know. And recounting cards and graveyards is definitely something that I'm capable of. And here we saw the 4/4 traded, and the Mother of Runes is really huge now. Is the Mother active? I think so.
Yeah, I think you wild it in.
Yeah. And with that, we now have the blocker now for the Goyf. And please tell me you put it on the Esperant. You don't want it to be bolted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Because you want the Esperant out of bolt range now.
Yeah, sure.
And as a 4/4, it definitely makes sense. And you have to put up quickly a creature up to a 6/6 that it can block the Goyf. And this should be a Ponder or something like that. The Ancient Grudge you can cast for 1 green from the graveyard, am I right?
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
So the while is never safe. And I think the while
Doesn't
is
matter.
not really that impactful actually in this
No.
game. I think you still want to keep up the ancient grudge.
Yeah, in case of a sword or the GT.
Yeah, cheat is definitely something that can still screw you over.
Oh, sure, Gino's right. There's a token in the graveyard. That's true. We have a germ in the graveyard. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It forgot to cease to exist.
yeah.
Yeah, happens. If you know you should die, but you just don't.
But for now they haven't heard us. They corrected themselves.
But they
So,
had the feeling, I think.
yeah. Do you know the feeling when you stand up and something is wrong, and then you see the germ token in the graveyard and put it away and everything is fine again?
Yeah, I know exactly those moments. Speaking out of my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's always the germ token.
Always has been.
Yeah.
Wait, what? There's actually is a card that stops tokens from stopping to exist. Post the card name into the chat. I want to hear about this.
This should be a silver bordered card. I can't really imagine any other card.
Okay, here we saw a wasteland on a drop, and yeah, double porting again.
Okay.
And, or even triple porting. Should be a triple port, yeah. Yeah, prove it. Jonas, you can't spoil us with such big news and then do nothing.
I think
And
Michael
yeah.
is. Yeah. Manuel
Yeah,
has
Michael
still the problem that the aspirant gets bigger and bigger each turn.
Yeah, he's now out of bolt range, and this is quite huge. I mean, Michael is still at 6 life, which is double bolt range. And yeah, but the problem is I have to look up the deck list. Yeah, there's still one volcanic island in the deck of
a sword for the Goyf is also, it helps.
Yeah, the sword is huge actually.
Well, I think Michael was favored nonetheless.
Okay, here we have the force pitch. A days most likely.
Okay.
Yeah. Force pitch days. Yeah, Michi definitely had one or maybe two Venus. So he's quite enjoying white wine. So he's drinking a lot of it. And how this is a good human being should do so. Venus.
Drinking a lot of Venus, yeah.
Or a lot of Venus, yeah.
Venus, yeah.
I like my Venus. I mean, I would make it more like this one.
Oh, I didn't know that your Venus is that small. Come on, Peter.
I just made it as soft.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, the card does not exist, and let's continue with the matchup. We now have a bigger Luminac Aspirant as a Tarmogoyf, and remember what I was saying about 10 minutes or 15 minutes ago? You have to bolt the Luminac Aspirant.
Yeah.
Because it will be a problem.
Yeah.
I think we have it here now.
Yeah. We could have attacked.
I think the correct thing here would actually be attacking
Yeah.
with the Luminac Aspirant.
Sure. Yeah.
Because if it goes through, it goes through. If it top decks a bolt, yeah, it happens.
Oh my.
Is a discard going down?
No, it was
Okay.
inactive for me.
Okay.
We are back now.
Um,
Sorry for
be-
that.
yeah, I'm not sure why there was no.
No attack. Yeah. If there was a jump block, it is fantastic.
How did that work with the ports? Had he not ported this turn?
Apparently not, as it seems.
Yeah, because my play would have been attacking with the Aspirant, getting in for 6.
Yeah.
Blocking the Goev with giving itself protection with the Mother of Runes. If he would have attacked and then attacking with the Aspirant again, because you are dead to double bolt either way.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to play around it.
The Arcanist on the board is really scary.
Yeah, the cheat on the board is really, really scary, I would say.
This also, yeah?
Because you now just cheat the Luminac Aspirant to get in. Because if it gets counters, it's perfectly fine. Because the counter just negates the Dreaded Arcanist effect.
Yeah.
Put one counter away, it's at 1-2. Fine.
0-2, yeah.
At 0-2, yeah. Do you have to do this with the trigger on the stack? Or
you can
have to do this in before attack.
I think you can do this with the trigger on the stack, but I'm not sure. Let's check the card. With the trigger, you choose the card that you want to cast right away, and I'm not sure if there is an additional check of the CMC when the trigger resolves. I'm not sure about this.
So for this question, we would like you guys to introduce you to Mr. Hypsois99, which should inform us quite soon about how this interaction would work and when you have to cheat and Dreaded Arcanist.
Yeah.
Become an immense stealth cards. You do this before announcing the card that you targeted. With Become Immense, you if you -1/-1 the Dreaded Arcanist with its trigger on the stack targeting a lightning bolt. Is the lightning bolt afterwards allowed to resolve or not?
I think it shouldn't be, because when the trigger resolves, it checks the power, and then it shouldn't work.
Yeah, so it would have been an illegal target.
I mean, you can target the card in the graveyard, I think, because that's what you do when you put the trigger on the stack. But I think the trigger won't resolve because the power is not met. The power requirement is not met, but I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, maybe Jonas can tell us later on. So, yeah. In this spot, I heavily favor definitely Manuel. Yeah. And yeah, it's quite a slow game actually.
It might this be extra turn?
In 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely have.
Draw.
I mean, it wouldn't be a draw. It's only a draw if Michael wins, yeah.
If Michael wins, yeah. Gino is a good point. We can tell them that they have 3 minutes left.
Yeah, I will just tell them. we see an Oko. Let's see what this can accomplish on this field now. I mean, I'm not sure what the Oko can make. Would elking something work? Do you
Yeah,
elk that cheetah?
yeah, I think the cheetah was elked. Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you? You can't swing now. You definitely are not allowed to swing here because you need 2 colors of creatures to block for the Luminac Exparent next turn. Okay. Okay. If Igibert says about the Gatherer, if he is understanding correctly, it shouldn't work after the trigger. Because it seems that it only checks on putting the thing on a stack. Okay, now we see the Luminac Aspirant attacking the Oko. This is huge.
Interesting. And okay.
Okay, now we will see a lot of porting going on. And I think port is definitely the card that made a big impact this game.
At the later stage, yes. But
And here is a big problem on the side of Michael. He has to do the upkeep porting on red, and the draw porting if he wants to do it on green, because there are instances that he can play, and here we see it. This is game.
Well,
But
bolt.
no, he got the 4 life of
Yeah. Of the heater. This is not game, yeah.
Yeah, I
Not
completely missed this.
Delva, okay.
So we have a jump blocker here. This is huge. The question is, do you attack now with the Dreadhorde?
Does the mana have... There's a 3/3, so you...
I think... No, you can't attack here.
What do we want the bolt? The face?
But where do we want the bolt?
Yeah, it should be only the face, because the mana is active, unless it's an elk, which I don't think it is.
No, it is not an elk. And he just blocks it with a 3/3. With a 4/4 even.
Yeah, I don't think this attack... Yeah, it's just a bolt, basically. It was just a bolt.
And we have the Wasteland, and you have to destroy a port here, yeah, making the battlefield a little bit smaller for us, and yeah.
Or as you can also call it, setting up for the next game.
Okay, I will tell them that extra turns are happening now.
Yeah. This is still an interesting match, but if we don't see a winner for this game, this still will go to Manuel.
Yeah, but I think... can you put in into our overlay a small text field with with 0 extra turn, 1 extra turn, or something like that?
I can do that, yes.
Because we're currently in the 0 extra turn. In the 0th extra turn.
The 0th.
And yeah, I think this should get the Sword of Fire and Ice. And yeah, the Sword of Fire and Ice should seal the deal because he has 5 mana available. He will put it on the Luminac Aspirant, equips it, gives him pro green, and yeah, with that, this is game.
Okay. So this looks
Yeah.
like a draw in that case.
Looks like a draw.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because it's actually finished because for the extra turns
We don't start.
don't
I think
start.
we don't start a new game. Yeah.
No, during extra turns you don't start.
Yeah.
So this is a draw.
Yeah. So we have finished this group too. It seems like Philip won his second game too.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Philip with 2-1, Höller Michael with 1-2, Manuel with 1-1-1,
Yeah.
Manuel Hochegger with 2-0-1,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Michael Mitter with 0-3.
If Philip won, then yes.
Philip
Seems
won,
like
yeah.
it. So
It seems like I will just send your standings so we can talk. I think in okay, he sent us already the standings.
mm-hmm.
So we'll just look. We have now at first place Manuel Hochegger with 2 wins and 1 draw with 7 points.
Yeah.
We have Klein Philip on second place with 2 wins and 1 loss. We have Michael Höller on third place with 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss with 4 points. And Michael Mitter, unfortunately, 0-3, 0 points. I would just tune into the boys currently and telling them something. Yeah. I was just telling them and confirming them that it will count as a draw now.
Okay.
And yeah, with that, I think the
first leg of this Group D group stage action is done for today, I would say.
Yeah, I would say the whole first leg is now done for the groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are good to go.
When do we have the next stream, actually?
The next stream is on Monday, 8 p.m. CET.
Yeah.
There we have no paper magic for you guys. We are summarizing in 20 minutes, half an hour, our experience, how it all went. We will tell you the matches. And I think the next match will be on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently not sure, or
which would be the 18th of December.
I'm just looking into our WhatsApp groups if we have.
And then this should be the second leg of Group A.
It should be Wednesday, the 16th of December.
Okay.
Yeah. 20:00 CET.
Mm-hmm.
So
make sure to mark this date in your calendars. This will be the second leg of Group A.
Yeah.
Of the Austrian Legacy Cup.
And there we will be together 3 guys with Philip joining us again for the first cast of the group. And yeah, see you guys there and enjoy your weekend.
Make sure to follow us on Twitter, on Facebook. You can also check out the VODs. They are being uploaded to our YouTube. And if you're interested in legacy podcasts, make sure to check us out. In Response is our legacy podcast name.
Yeah, definitely. Here a short link to our Twitter page. And yeah, see you soon.
Yeah.
See you in Response. The end.